Vice President Kamala Harris has stepped out from behind Joe Biden's shadow to seek the presidency of the United States. Martha Teichner takes a closer look at just where Harris has been and where she hopes to be going.
We are going to win this election.
Call it the big reveal. Vice President Kamala Harris in the last 7 days emerging.
Are you ready to get to work?
Blasting out from behind the curtain of the Biden presidency onto a stage of her own.
Are you ready to make your voices heard?
There's been kind of a joyous explosion. Certainly you've seen that in the reaction in the country.
Stuart Stevens is a longtime Republican political strategist and author.
There is something about being vice president that diminishes you, and there's something about being the nominee of a party that enhances you. So I think what we've seen since the president withdrew from the nomination, this process of Vice President Harris becoming something larger than being a vice president.
Someone large enough in the eyes of voters to be president. Traditionally, candidates have months, the entire primary season to do that. Harris has exactly 100 days between now and November 5th. She's in a big hurry. In a week, she's locked the nomination, hauled in a mountain of cash, and racked up an impressive list of endorsements. Young people, volunteers, constituencies who had tuned out of the presidential race are tuning back in by the thousands to support Harris, nudging her to a statistical tie with former President Donald Trump in a new poll.
We choose freedom.
Harris has moved fast to define the narrative of her own campaign before Trump does it for her.
If you don't mind, I'm not going to be nice. Is that okay?
The fact she's a black, South Asian woman is the ever-present undercurrent in the turbulence of the now redefined election cycle.
Do you think that the fact that Kamala Harris is a woman will be a big factor in this election?
I think when it's said and done, we're going to look back and say it was a determinative factor.
Harris will be bumping up against that expectation that strong leaders, that presidents look like men. And so she's going to have to look strong, look like a compelling leader while acknowledging that she is different. And so trying to find that fine line between being assertive and being a strong leader while not being unlikable is going to be a challenge.
Lindsay Chervinsky is the executive director of the George Washington Presidential Library and a presidential historian.
Anytime there has been a female candidate, whether it's all the way back to the early 1900s up through Hillary Clinton, many of the attacks can be gender-based.
Kamala Harris.
As Trump has already proven.
Did you see her last night on television with the laugh?
We have double standards for women in public life, and the same for non-white candidates. Look, I think that they're going to use every kind of racial, gender, dog whistle that they can come up with.
How will she have to respond to that?
The easy answer to that is I've never been in a courtroom with someone I was prosecuting who had a lot of nice things to say about me.
Hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's type.
Prosecutor versus felon has become a meme. Haven't we heard that line from Donald Trump?
Incidentally,
Looking back from the vantage point of history, sometimes a catchphrase or a moment can alter the perception of a candidate or a race.
I, of course, disagree with Senator Kennedy.
Example, a sweaty, scowling Richard Nixon.
Only you can decide.
Versus a telegenic JFK in the 1960 debate.
Another one that I would maybe point to is Bill Clinton's Arsenio Hall saxophone playing, because it spoke to the moment and it confirmed what people liked about him.
Yes, we can.
I don't think that there was a lot of polls out there in 2007 and early 2008 saying the American people, their number one issue was hope and change. But Barack Obama was able to make that the number one issue. And that's how you win campaigns.
Stuart Stevens is an anti-Trumper, but he's been a top advisor to Republican presidential candidates since the mid-1990s. Listen to his prediction.
You think Harris will win?
I think she'll win comfortably.
The odds are not necessarily in Harris's favor, though.
Typically, vice presidents have abysmal success running for presidents on their own. We've seen very few that are successful, and typically they only serve one additional term.
Of the 24 former VPs who have run before Harris, only 10 won, most recently Joe Biden. Now, Donald Trump is the old guy running for the Oval Office. So will this be Kamala Harris's moment to make history?
I'm ready.
Her honeymoon period won't last forever, but she's out of the gate, swinging.
That's right. Bring it on.